Hey Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, your one and only source into the scandalous lives of Manhattan's aides. I'm not Gossip Girl. I saw Gossip Girl for the first time, I think, 10 years ago. It was teen drama. I don't know what got me hooked to watching this show, but I've probably seen it twice or three times. Anyway, this show is about sports brats, sports teenagers, some not so sports, and how their lives intertwine. It's a show about class, power, designer clothes, about teenagers and their secrets and their dirty linens being thrown about by a blogger known as Gossip Girl, how they manage their lives. But I have some unpopular opinions about this show that I would like to share on this video. And maybe they're not so unpopular and I shouldn't feel so special that I have these opinions. You probably agree with some of them or you don't, and that's fine. I did some fact checking and I noticed that some of the things that these guys were doing was quite a lot for teenagers to be doing. And the people that were acting as these guys were not teenagers. And I think I didn't find that really cool. For example, when Serena's character was acted by Blake Lively, and she started acting, on Gossip Girl when she was 20, and she was supposed to be a 16-year-old. That was quite weird. It was a bit interesting to see that because there was a lot going on, and I mean a lot of rated 18 stuff going on the show that I don't think that it was ideal for a 20-year-old to be seen as a 16-year-old on the show. Anyway, that said, it was a show full of drama, and that drama was interesting to watch. I loved Dan and Blair together. I'm sorry, but I just did. These two were not friends at the beginning. Blair was repulsed by Dan, and Dan did not care for Blair. They were smart, they were witty, and I think they challenged each other. I think it was so interesting to see because these two were not friends from the beginning. Honestly, I don't think that Dan ever got over Blair, even though he and Serena ended up together, which, by the way, I have my thoughts about that. I don't think they could have made it as a couple long term because let's face it, Blair is who she is. She can't just change to be someone else overnight, considering the fact that she has had this formed behavior for years. So it wouldn't be Dan that would just change her to be someone that, is not superficial, doesn't care about material stuff. Even though they had like a nice thing going on, I don't really think that they would have made it so far because of that underlying difference between them. Second thing is Dan and Serena. These two shouldn't have ended up together. First of all, it was quite annoying to find out that Dan was Gossip Girl. It still doesn't make sense to me because there are a lot of scenes that we see where Dan couldn't have been Gossip Girl. There were a lot of things that he did not know. He was not privy to. So how does someone just end up becoming Gossip Girl? The math wasn't mathing. Maybe towards the end, it made sense that he was Gossip Girl, but there were a lot of things that happened at the beginning of the series that it just didn't make sense that it was Gossip Girl. That aside, talking about Dan and Serena now, I do not think that they should have ended up together. Serena was too good for Dan. If we're following the logic that he was Gossip Girl and he wrote some of those things about Serena, there is no world in which you keep dating someone like that. The thoughts about you in that way and all the things he wrote about her in his book as well. But I just didn't see it. I think Serena should have ended up with Nate. I think Nate was the one that really, really, really liked Serena, compared to all the other guys on the show. And so yeah, I think a nicer or a better ending would have been for Nate to be with Serena and Dan to be alone, because I didn't really see it going long term with Blair, even though they had a good friendship going on. The breath of fresh air on this show, you guessed it, or maybe you didn't. Dorota was the breath of fresh air.
Dorota!
How can she even see time through all that sparkly?
God always watching, Miss Blair.
Dorota, are you insane?
I don't know.
She was Blair's rock. She was the voice of reason. Somehow she managed to stay out of drama, but she was always supportive of Blair, and she was such a stabilizing presence that Blair needed because her mom didn't really have a time, to be quite frank.
Do you know where Miss Blair went? She forgot to put on Lucky Charm this morning when she got out of shower. She think conditioner dulls diamond.
Her mom was always busy with her fashion empire stuff. So Dorota was like the only angel on this show. And she was someone that Blair needed, for sure. Like 100%. Dorota deserves her flowers, for sure. I think the person that would probably top Blair at her own game was Georgina.
Oh my god, Georgina.
Georgina was a scary presence on the show. Like, I think that anytime we saw Georgina show up in any scene, it was obvious that she was out for blood, even though she didn't look like it. Like, she would make you believe that she is all pure and all innocent and all is forgiving, but she will stab you so bad. Okay.
Face it, Blair. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, you were a queen. Here you're just a loser.
So I think Georgina was next level Blair without the minions. She was more manipulative, more scheming, more scary. She was way scarier than Blair. And I wonder what would have been if these two actually got along. That would have been chaos. The difference between Blair and Georgina is that Georgina might have been a little mentally unstable. I think Blair was still in her right mind, but Georgina might have been mentally unstable with all of the things that she thought about doing. And he even actually did. Okay, I guess the last thing is that Chuck and Blair carried this show. I literally think they have backache from how much they carried this show. Like, without Chuck and Blair, I actually can't imagine what the show would be like. Without their drama, without their scheming, without their toxicity, there wouldn't have been actual teen drama on this show. I think a lot of things that were projected, to be quite frank, was exaggeration, but that is what I guess makes it interesting to watch, right? Because it's beyond what we would typically see. And there was a lot of also chemistry between these two. There was a lot of, scheming between them. I definitely don't support both of them being together because they're both bad individually. Now imagine bringing bad and bad together, like chaos. Some people were like, they were goals. I don't really know what goals people, the things that people now see as goals, like, baffles me, but it was nice to watch, but definitely toxic. I remember all the I'm Chuck Bass.
I'm Chuck Bass.
Yes, I can't get over those lines. Every reason that he would give for anything he's doing is that he was Chuck Bass. I don't think Chuck's character was great at the beginning. I mean, this guy was trying to SA two people from, I think, the first episode, but towards the end, it looked like he had a redeeming part to him. I have a lot of thoughts about Blair. I think I might or I might not do a video about it, but I think that Blair had a lot of growing up to do on this show. She was, literally sabotaging herself so many times. Did she lose you? I think she did lose you because she didn't get in, she got in, and then her acceptance got rescinded again because of all the crazy things that she was doing on this show. I personally think the only reason why she was friends with Serena was because of how it made her look, not necessarily because, she was genuinely friends with her. So I just think that she was maybe a neglected adult and she was, taking it out in the most annoying ways. I wasn't here for all the bullying and things that were happening in the schools. I'm sorry. It was nice to watch her sometimes be so dramatic, but all of the condescending and all of that, I don't think that that's something nice to see in school. Like, especially if you're a teenager watching this and then you have to go to school and deal with someone like that. That is not fun. And if you have a kid, you're watching this, if you have someone like that, not allowing your kid have fresh air or breathe because they want to answer to someone called Blair or someone like that in school, that is not cool. So yeah, there was a lot of drama that these guys brought into the show, but we can't rule out the fact that some of it wasn't exactly ideal. And yeah, those are all my opinions, I guess. Probably not so popular or unpopular opinions about Gossip Girl. Let me know what you guys think. Which of these do you agree with? Which of these don't you? If you have any other unpopular opinions, please let me know in the comments. I would really love to read it. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.